good morning to you all. I think it's 12. Oh, okay. So, good afternoon to you all. I hope you are doing very, very well. You are welcome to today's lesson on OWOP. And our strand is nature of God. Nature of God. So we are going to talk about God, and then how He created the world and the things in it. Before we continue with our lesson, I hope you've heard this song before. He's got a whole world in His hands. He's got a whole wide world in His hands. He's got a whole world in His hands. He's got a whole world in His hands. I hope you've heard this song before. Yeah. So if you know how to sing, I want you to sing as you enjoy this lesson. Now, we sang this song for you to know that the world and everything in it was created by God. So God created the world and everything in it in just 6 days. Okay, He created the world and everything in it in 6 days, and on each day He had a particular thing He created. Are you getting it? The Bible makes us understand that He rested on the 7th day. So He used 6 days to work and He rested on the 7th day. One may ask that, what is creation? If you are able to bring something new into existence, then you have created. So a simple definition for creation is the act of bringing something new into existence. That is creation. And as I told you already, that God created each thing on a day. So day 1 He created something, day 2 He created another thing, day 3 He created another thing. So that is what we are going to look at in today's lesson. Let's continue. Now, God created the earth day and night on day 1. So when God came, the earth was without form. When you go to Genesis, the story is there. The earth was without form, and so God called there to be order. He said, let there be, and there was. So on day 1, God created the earth. Okay, God created the earth, and then day and night. That is day 1. So the day you see and then the night you see was on God's first creation day. I hope you understand. So you understand why we sang the song, He's got the whole world in His hands. He did everything. Whatever you see around was brought into being by God. But mind you that we have natural things and artificial things. Man has been able to do a lot of things as man has been given wisdom and knowledge by God. We will come to that in the other parts of our lesson. Now let's continue to day 2. Now in day 2, God created the sky and water bodies. God created the sky and water bodies. So when you look up, I know you are in the room right now, but if you finish this lesson and you come out, you look up, you see the skies, and then we have water bodies. And up till now, you see that the water bodies do not leave their boundaries. They stay in their boundaries, and so the sky has also never fallen from where it is. They are exactly where God asked them to be. So in day 2, God created the sky and water bodies. I hope you understand very well. Okay, let's go on. Now, day 3 came and God created the dry land, forest, and the sea. Okay, God took His time to do all these things in a systematic order, okay, in an orderly manner. So God created the land, forest, okay, and the sea. So this land that you see around, God created it on the 3rd day. Then God created the forest. The forest is a place where a lot of plants, a lot of trees can be found. Are you getting it? Yes, we have forests. You go into the forest and you yourself, you wonder the kind of trees that you see. I hope most of you have visited the Ebri Gardens before. If you have been to the Ebri Gardens before, you will know that God is indeed wonderful. You will see very huge trees, okay, some swallowing others. Some have been there for a very long time. Are you getting it? God created all of them, okay? God created all of them, and then he created the sea as well. So he asked the sea to stay where it is, and so we have the sea. Are you getting it? So these things, the land, that is dry land, forest, and the sea, they were created on the third day. I hope you understand. Very good. Now let's continue. Then came day 4. On day 4, that is the fourth day, God created the sun, the moon, and the stars. Okay? God created the sun, the moon, and the stars. I hope you understand. So, as God created these things, the sun was positioned there to give us light in the day, and then the moon, okay, to reflect light from the stars, okay, in the night. Are you getting it? So this is what was done on the fourth day. God created the sun, the moon, and the stars. Listen to it carefully, because after this lesson you have some questions to answer for me. So those of you who would just want to skip, I have questions for you. So pay attention to every detail of this lesson. I hope you understand. Very good. Let's continue. Now we come to day 5, that is on the 5th day. Let's look at what God created on the 5th day. God created the creatures in the sea. Okay, remember, he has created the sea already, but the sea is just lying down. So he created the creatures. When I say creatures, I'm talking about the fish, and then the other plants, all other animals that are found in the sea. God created them on the 5th day. I hope you understand this lesson very well. So when you go into the sea, you see, we are only conversant with these few fish that we chew, the tilapias and then the mudfish, but I tell you, there are so many variety of fish in the sea that you have never seen before. Are you getting it? All those animals or creatures were made, and there are other plants that live in the sea as well. All these things were put there by God, okay? And then God created the flying birds, okay? Mind you, we have birds that do not fly. I hope you know that. Yes, we have birds such as the fowl or chicken, okay? It doesn't fly. But on the 5th day, God created flying birds, okay? These birds are found in the sky. They sleep on trees. Some sleep on very high mountains. So God created them on the 5th day, okay? And there are so many varieties of birds. If you are privileged to go into the forest, you will know what I'm talking about. You will see so many colorful birds, okay? Some are wild, some are friendly. All of them were made by God. So now, I hope the song is ringing in your head. He's got the whole world in his hands, and so he created everything that we see around. Now, let's go to day 6. Day 6. On the 6th day of creation, God created wild animals. Wild animals. Mind you, we have domestic animals and we have wild animals. So God created wild animals. And guess what? The wild animals were put in the forest, and some were put in the sea. Okay? So very wild animals were created on the 6th day. And then again, God created domestic animals. Okay, now let's come back to wild animals. Let's give examples of wild animals. Some are tiger, the lion, hyena, and the rest. Okay, we have the eagle and all those animals, they are wild. So any animal you can think of that is very wild was created on the seventh day. Then I said God created domestic animals. Domestic animals are friendly animals, the ones that we live with in our houses. They are the domestic animals. So let's talk about the chicken, let's talk about the goat, let's talk about the sheep, cow. These are domestic animals. Cat, dog, these are domestic animals that we live with in our houses, and they were also created on the sixth day of creation. Now guess what? The last creation of God was man. So after God had started from day one, created everything, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, God brought everything and then he created man. Now this is what he did when he was creating man. He molded man with clay, okay, in his form, in his image, okay, and then he breathed what we call the breath of life into man, and man became a living being. Next time we will look at why God breathed into man. Okay, with all these creations we've mentioned, God said let there be. God called them into being and they came. Okay, but when it got to man, he molded man and then breathed into man. Okay, then later God put man to sleep and then created woman. That is why we have the name woman, out of man. God created woman out of man. Okay, so the first man that God created was called Adam, and the woman was called Eve. I hope you understand now. So mind you, man was the first human being God created. Then God later created what? Woman from man to form humankind. When we say humankind, it simply means human beings. So this is all that I want you to know today on our lesson. Okay, God's creation, and then whatever he created on each day. I hope you have enjoyed this lesson. Please listen to it very well. Read the notes attached to it. Okay, you are fortunate to have the notes, and then you have the audio, and then you have the visual, right? So listen to it very well, and then I will leave some questions on your dashboard. Okay, then you can have access to it based on today's lesson. Be very good children. Know that COVID-19 is still around. Observe all the protocols. Okay, take care of yourself, and we will meet again another time. Bye bye.